11 candidates are vying to replace former Mayor Bob Filner to serve the remaining 3 years of his term. Among them, 4 candidates have above 10% voter support, according to a recent poll by our media partner 10 News. Each of the top 4 candidates will join us for a one-on-one interview starting tonight with Councilman David Alvarez. David, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Councilman Alvarez, you grew up in Barrio Logan. This is your first term on the City Council representing District 8 since 2010. You've been endorsed by a number of notable organizations, including the Democratic Party of San Diego and the Labor Council of San Diego and Imperial Counties. If elected mayor, what will your top 3 priorities be?
Well, again, thank you for having me, and the endorsements are great, including others like Councilwoman Donna Fry and Assembly Majority Leader Tony Atkins. But I'm proud to be a native San Diegan. I'm running for mayor because we really need to make sure that the city prioritizes neighborhoods first. It's been my motto since I ran for city council. I'm a neighborhood activist first, and then I became a politician, and that's my main priority. Making sure that infrastructure needs are met in the city would be second. And I think that third, we need to ensure that there's economic development and prosperity for our city. So that means creating jobs, but also that means investing in neighborhoods where there's high level unemployment and low income communities, and making sure that we put the funds necessary in the communities that really need them so that we can all thrive as a city.
Moving on to the convention center, the Coastal Commission staff opposes the convention center expansion, which I believe you originally supported. Do you still support it? And what do you think about the Chargers plan for a multi-use stadium complex in that area?
Well, first of all, the Chargers plan I think is very interesting. I've never had the opportunity to actually sit down with the Chargers to learn about that, but I will in the next few days. And so I don't understand completely what that plan is, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do that and review it. I'm always open to good suggestions, and hopefully this will be one. As far as the convention center goes, the Coastal Commission is putting forward an addendum saying that we need to build a bridge which will cost someone the magnitude of $50 million. The city taxpayers are already on the hook. I oppose the financing scheme that went forward for this convention center. I believe the expansion is necessary. We need more convention space, but not by putting more taxpayer dollars to the project.
When it comes to San Diego's homeless, it was a top priority for the former mayor. Do you support funding to keep the temporary shelter open right now year-round?
Well, we voted for that on the council to support that, and that was our hope. Unfortunately, it seems like the numbers were incorrect, and we're going to be discussing this in the committee that I serve on, the budget committee, in the next month to figure out where our finances are, to make sure that we're going to have enough resources to cover all of those expenses that were anticipated, and we'll be discussing that there. I support the shelter. I voted for it to be open year-round, and if we can continue to keep it open year-round, we'll do that.
Would you be willing to ask funding from taxpayers, or where would that source of money
No, we'd have
come
to
from?
find that source of funding from within our existing budget, and we've done some really good things to cut back on our budget, so we're in a good position. Hopefully we'll have enough funding to do those programs that are so important.
I knew when the budget was being discussed, a lot of San Diegans were asking for a whole lot in city services. Do taxes need to be raised to help pay for that?
I think we saw this year that we could provide a lot of services that San Diegans want. I think where we're going to have to start to have a discussion on, though, is not using general fund dollars, which is what pays for all these services that San Diegans want, to fund all of our infrastructure needs in our city. And so we're going to have to focus on that in a separate manner, and we'll have to have a longer discussion about that.
When you declared your candidacy, a high-profile Democrat candidate, Nathan Fletcher, was already running. How do you respond to critics who say that because you're running now, you're going to split the vote?
Oh, I would just say that there was a democratic process opposed to the Republicans who all got into a room in a backroom deal fashion and selected who their candidate was going to be. The Democrats had a process, and the Democratic Party voted, and they voted to support me as their candidate. I am the Democratic voice, the Democratic elected official who's being supported by the Democratic Party.
If you were elected San Diego's mayor, you'd be the first Latino mayor here. How do you feel about that?
It'd be an honor to serve as mayor in the city that I love, that I grew up in. And obviously, that'll be a different distinction. That would be a great distinction as well. But really, this is about all of San Diego, every single neighborhood that's been so left behind, so neglected. And I've witnessed that growing up here. And I want to make sure that every community is treated well and treated to the greatness that our city can be.
All right, mayoral candidate and Councilman David Alvarez, thank you.
Thank you.